Dear students, welcome back to MNR's digital classes. The topic of this session is stellar temperature and stellar color. This is the third lecture of the astrophysics module. The content of this session are extracted from the book Introduction to Astrophysics by Baidyanath Basu. In addition to this, another book, College Physics Volume 3 by N. Sundarajan et al., published by United Publishers, is also referred. In this lecture, we are going to understand two important physical parameters of the star. One is the stellar temperature, second one is the stellar color. At the end of this lecture, we are going to understand what do you mean by the stellar temperature. You know the definition of effective temperature, meaning of the term effective temperature, different methods of determining the stellar temperature using blackbody radiation laws. Next, we are going to understand what is color index, the method of determining the surface temperature or the color of the star using color index concept. Then we're going to understand the UVB technique of determining the stellar color. Now to start with, all the information we get about the stars comes from the electromagnetic radiation that we receive. An analysis of the intensity of the light at different wavelengths allows the astronomers to measure the black body temperature of a star and is a good measure of the temperature of the photosphere. So surface temperature can be defined as it is that temperature it would have been having when it radiates like a perfect black body. So this temperature is called as effective temperature since the estimation of this temperature is done by using the laws of black body radiation, which assumes it as a perfect black body. But in actual practice, a star will not be as like a perfect black body, hence its actual surface temperature will be slightly less than this effective temperature. Now, using the assumption of a perfect black body, we have two methods of determining the temperature of the star. The first method is using the Stephen's fourth power law. For a star of luminosity L and the radius R, the effective temperature can be estimated by using Stephen's fourth power law. According to this law, the radiant energy flux, that is the rate of energy per unit area, by a perfect black body is directly proportional to 4 power of its absolute temperature. This is the statement of Stephen's fourth power law. Mathematically, if F is the radiant flux and T is the effective temperature, then F is proportional to T power 4. If we remove the proportionality, then we get the proportionality constant sigma. So F is equal to sigma T power 4, where sigma is 5.67 into 10 to the power of minus 5 watts per meter square per Kelvin power minus 4, and it is called as Stephen's constant. If the surface area of the star is equal to 4 pi r square, that is A is equal to 4 pi r square, then luminosity is given by flux into area. Using the values of flux and area from these two equations, we get sigma T power 4 into 4 pi r square, and that gives us the estimation of surface temperature, that is the effective temperature. T effective is equal to L divided by 4 pi sigma r square to the power of 1 by 4. The second method is using Wien's displacement law. We know that a star's emission spectra is similar to a theoretical black body spectrum. The peak wavelength emission gives an idea of the surface temperature. Shorter the peak wavelength, hotter is the black body, hence higher is the surface temperature. The surface temperature of a star can be directly determined using Wien's displacement law, as this law relates peak wavelength in with the emission peak wavelength of the emission spectrum to surface temperature. So, by measuring the wavelength of the radiation corresponding to maximum intensity, you can find the surface temperature of the star. Now, this law can be understood by using this simple plot. This represents the energy distribution curve over the entire wavelength region for three different temperatures. So, just by measuring the wavelength, by knowing the wavelength corresponding to maximum intensity, you can come to know about its wavelength, I mean its temperature, by using Wien's displacement law, which is given by lambda maximum into T is equal to the constant B, where constant B is called as Wien's constant and its value is 2.9 into 10 to the power of minus 3 watt Kelvin. These two methods use as the measure of surface temperature of the star, but that does not use the actual surface temperature, but it gives us the effective value when the star behaves like a perfect black body. So more accurate methods are needed. Now let us understand those. The first method is color index. It is one of the easy method to estimate the surface temperature of a star. Surface temperature of a star. It is the measurement of apparent magnitude in one spectral range to another spectral range. The color index is a qualitative measure of the color and hence the temperature of the star. Astronomers measure the color index of a star by subtracting its magnitude in the blue spectral region and in the visible spectral region. That is, the magnitude of the star is measured in two different spectral regions, that is in the blue spectral region and the visible spectral region. Then the difference in the magnitudes in those spectral regions uses the color index for the given star. So the color index of a star is defined as the difference between photographic magnitude and photovisual magnitude. To understand this, first we need to understand these two terms. Let us understand those two terms. First one, the intensity in the blue spectral region. Observe this. We have two spectral regions. One represented by blue color is blue region. Blue region means not the visible. It corresponds to ultraviolet region. Then the red region, which corresponds to visible region. The magnitude of the star measured in the blue spectral region is called as photographic magnitude and is represented by B. The intensity of the radiation with wavelengths in the visible region gives us visual magnitude, or simply, photovisual magnitude, or simply it is represented by V. Then the difference between these two magnitudes, B and V, it gives the color index. Thus, color index is equal to D minus V. Now observe here, from this plot it is clear that for a hotter star, V is greater than V, whereas for a cooler star, V is greater than V. Means the color index of a hotter star is more positive, whereas the color index for a cooler star is less positive or negative. Once we know the color index for different known stars, then a calibration curve can be plotted by taking color index along x-axis, surface temperature along y-axis. Then for any unknown star, if you want to know the surface temperature or color of any unknown star, its magnitudes in the two spectral regions, that is photographic magnitude in the ultraviolet or blue spectral region, and photovisual magnitude in the visible spectral region are measured. Color index is calculated. Then spotting the star over this calibration curve, we can estimate its surface temperature. The next method to find the spectral color and hence the temperature is UV system. Prior to 1950, the magnitude of the stars used to be expressed as visual magnitudes and photographic magnitudes. It is now common to measure the distribution of continuum radiation in three standard bands denoted by U, V, and V, which were first introduced by Johnson and is called as UVV technique. In the old method, that is, as we discussed in the previous section, color index, the photographic magnitude and visual magnitudes are measured for a given star, and hence the color index is calculated, which gives the measure of the color of the star. But the modern methods is, it involves not the measurement of magnitude, instead of that, the distribution of the radiation, continuum radiation, that is energy density over a particular spectral range is measured, and using that energy density, that is the flux, we can calculate the color of a star. We can estimate the color of a star. This technique was introduced by Johnson and it is called as UVV technique. Now, to understand this UVV technique, let us go through this energy distribution curve. Here we have two different energy distribution curves corresponding to different temperatures. The lower one represents for the low cooler star, whereas this one represents the hotter star. Now observe here, this represents the blue band, this represents red band. Blue band corresponds to ultraviolet region, red band corresponds to visible region. Now the energy density or the flux corresponding to blue region and red region are measured. Now observe here, for the blue region, for a hotter star, energy flux is more in the blue region than the red region, whereas for a cooler star, energy density is more in the hotter region than the blue region. So from this it is clear that for a cooler star is more dominant, has the energy density dominant in the red region, whereas a hotter star is more dominant in the blue region. So this gives us an idea to find the surface temperature of a star. Now let us define what is UVB technique or UVB photometry. It is a technique in which the accurate measurement of the color of a star is done using photometers or CCD cameras with a standard set of filters known as UVB filters. And this technique is known as UVB photometry. Now let us understand what are those filters. U filter is constructed to transmit radiation with wavelengths in the ultraviolet wave band between 2800 angstroms to 3800 angstroms. Blue filter is constructed such that it is transparent in the blue wavelength band varying from 3800 angstroms to 4800 angstroms. V filter, it is transparent in the visible, that is yellow-green region. The wavelength band is between 4900 to 5900 angstroms. The intensity of the light, that is energy density or energy flux from a star, is measured using three filters individually, and their brightness are represented by BU, BB, and BV. Then their intensities in the band are compared with the neighboring bands. The intensity or the brightness of the star in one spectral range is compared with the neighboring spectral band, that is BU by BB and BV by BV. Once we know the ratios of colors, A plot can be plotted similar to that of color index. Color ratio is taken along x-axis and surface temperature is taken along y-axis. So a calibration curve can be found. For a star like Sun, the surface temperature is about 6000 Kelvin, strictly speaking 5800 Kelvin, and its color ratio is about nearly 2. For a cooler star, Aldebaran, its surface temperature is around 3000 Kelvin. For a hotter star like Bellatrix, the surface temperature is about 21,000 Kelvin. So similarly, if we have any unknown star, its color index is, color ratio is determined, then it is plotted on this calibration curve to estimate its surface temperature and hence the color. Thank you.